Have thought 30 years ago, 50 years ago, there's no way that we would have thought that we would have online radio, right? Absolutely not. Everything was, you had to see the cord. You remember those phones back in the day, the phones with the swirly cords? The good old days when you could actually hang up on somebody? That was so powerful, wasn't it? You felt so powerful hanging up on people. But I swear we had the longest cords ever. You'd have this great big long cord, oh my gosh, and it was all swirly, and that was simply so that you could hide on your parents and still be on the phone. Was there any other reason? I don't think so. You could go into the closet, and there was usually enough room under the door that the cord could go right under, and you could hide in there and talk to your boyfriend, or whatever it is you wanted to do. Whatever your secrets were that you wanted to whisper in the phone that you didn't want anybody else to hear. So there you go. We back in that day, we certainly would be impressed to know that we can share news over the internet like we are today. Which brings me to the highlight of the show, my very favorite part, which is always the good news edition. The good news part for this beautiful August 27th. It's a little cooler out, but you know what? Oh man, I love it. It is the right kind of weather, if you ask me. That's for darn sure. So, great news. Now, this news I got from thegoodnewsnetwork.org, but it's actually posted with permission from the China Daily. In Shanghai is where this newspaper source comes from. China launched nearly 8,000 water cleanup projects in the first half of 2017, with projected total investment of 667.4 billion yuan, which is equivalent to $100 billion, the Environment Ministry said on Thursday. The projects were devised as part of a 2015 action plan to treat and prevent water pollution and cover 325 contaminated surface water sites across the country. The Ministry of Environmental Protection, also known as MEP, said in a notice. A total of 343 contaminated sites had been identified, meaning that 95% had drawn up plans to bring water quality up to required standards, it said. However, it noted that some regions were still being scheduled when it came to meeting their 2017 water pollution goals. Across the country, 1,762 companies have taken clean production methods to prevent water pollution, accounting for 84.6% of companies needing to make the transformation. China has also changed 75,000 underground oil tanks to two-layer tanks or added seepage prevention measures. With China desperate to increase supplies to guarantee future food and energy security, it promised in 2015 to make significant improvements in its major waterways and curb untreated wastewater from highly polluting sectors like mining, steelmaking, textiles, printing, and oil refining. The MEP said this month that overall water quality had improved for the first half of 2017, although some regions registered an increase in substandard samples over the same period. China grades its water in 6 bands, with the lowest, below grade 5, considered unusable even for industrial or irrigation purposes, and described as black and stinky water. Of 2,100 black and stinky sites identified, 44.1% had completed treatment projects in the first half of the year, the ministry said, noting that the provinces of Hebei, Shanxi, Liaoning, and Anhui had fallen behind. In a bid to protect rural water supplies, China also identified 636,000 square kilometers of land that would be made off limits to animal husbandry, and it shut 213,000 livestock and poultry farms in the first 6 months. The ministry also said 809 new household sewage treatment facilities were built in the first half, but the regions of Inner Mongolia, Xinjiang, Hubei, Guangdong, and a few other ones were behind schedule, it said. China said on Wednesday that it had already appointed 200,000 river chiefs throughout the country as part of a new system aimed at making local officials more accountable when it comes to improving water quality and curbing pollution. That is so awesome that they're jumping in with both feet. Hey, look at all the work that they've done. Absolutely fantastic. And let's not forget what's going on in China. They have a huge population, so this is stuff they need to do. So absolutely awesome. Can you imagine? If it's not even good for irrigation, eek. Good grief. All right, here we go. We talk about our kids, and we say so often that, it's just making me laugh. We say so often they watch TV too much. And it's funny because my granddaughter Alice is 2 years old, and she usually comes over every weekend, and she didn't come over this weekend. And I was thinking of her today because she's camping, and that's great, whatever. But today I'm thinking to myself, oh, I haven't watched I'm having princess movie withdrawals because her favorite princesses right now are Moana, from the movie Moana, and there's a character in there called Maui, and it's it's played by The Rock, which is funny because I'm a huge fan. And so he sings this song, which maybe I'll play later on my radio show, and it's called You're Welcome. And Alice likes to sing that too, and she's so funny. Because I know you'll be shocked to find out that I'm not really a good singer. So I'll be sitting there with her, and the song comes on. I cannot stay still. I can't help it. I start like chair dancing to the music or whatever. I can't control that, but I can control my singing. So I'll start singing this little song, and she'll stop. And she puts her hand out, and she says, Nana, stop singing. So I stop, or I mouth the words or whatever. So I really missed her this weekend, which is funny. So Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he does all sorts of voices in all sorts of movies, and he's in movies where he's actual characters. So professional actor and wrestler Dwayne The Rock Johnson may not have ever given a particularly life-changing performance before, but now, thanks to a 10-year-old boy, one of his performances has become life-saving. Jacob O'Connor is being credited as a hero after he used a scene from his favorite movie to save his 2-year-old brother Dylan. Last month, Jacob and his brothers were spending the day at their grandmother's house. Jacob was about to start watching TV when he noticed that the door was open and Dylan was gone. The youngster went outside and saw his brother floating face down in the backyard pool. Jacob immediately thought of a scene from the Hollywood action flick San Andreas, where The Rock's character uses chest compressions to save his daughter's life. The 10-year-old started mimicking the actor's motions until Dylan started coughing up water. Oh my goodness. Jacob then fetched his grandmother, and they rushed Dylan to the hospital. Emergency personnel said that Jacob's actions almost certainly saved his brother's life. If he did not intervene as quickly as he did, paramedics may not have been able to help Dylan in time. After spending just one day in care, the youngster was brought back home to where he can be sure that his superhero brother will always be helping to keep an eye on him in the future. And if the story couldn't get any better already, Jacob got a shout out from his hero on Twitter after the rescue. Wow, amazing story, wrote The Rock. You're a real life hero. We're all proud of you. Oh man, isn't that heartwarming, you know? That kid's going to make a difference in the world. Absolutely awesome. And you know, like I was saying earlier, we were talking about little tweaks you can make in your life that can do so much. You know, you're always one decision away from a changed life. And it's amazing what little that we feel decision you can make that can change someone else's life. And that's what this story is about. A Nebraska wife is certainly paying it forward as her wedding dress is set to be worn by at least 12 other women. Dawnetta Hines, 22, said that after she tied the knot in July 2016, her wedding dress just sat in the closet of her home. Recently, when she and her husband began packing up for a move, Hines decided she should do something with the gown. I never put much thought into what I would do with the dress. I'm moving, so I had the idea to give the dress to someone less fortunate, Hines told InsideEdition.com. In a local Facebook group, Hines stated that she was giving away the dress for free, but she wasn't expecting the overwhelming response she received. Women began commenting and messaging Hines in hopes of donning the dress for their big day. I just posted in there saying if a bride is in need that would like the dress, they could have it for free. They just need to get it dry cleaned. I didn't expect to blow up like it did, Hines said. That's when I had the idea to ask them to pass it forward. There are 11 more brides and counting who are waiting for their moment to wear the dress after its first recipient wore it this past Wednesday. Ariana Pro, 27, wore the dress to renew her vows with her husband of 6 years. Pro said when she saw the dress in the Facebook group, it made her want to have the wedding that she had never experienced. I just so happened to be browsing on Facebook. I saw the beautiful dress and I was the first one to comment. When my husband and I got married, it wasn't a necessity to have the big dress and the big party. We had just lost a son and we needed a little light in our lives, Pro said. When I saw the dress, all the feelings came back. It was overwhelming. She, Hines, snowballed my dream to have a real wedding. The couple renewed their vows on a yacht in San Francisco. It was so amazing to get the recognition as a bride. You are wearing this beautiful dress and everyone is gawking at you. It was a surreal experience, Pro said. I shipped the dress to the next girl. I know how I felt when I wore the dress, and we get to pass along that feeling. Hines also remembers that feeling all too well, too. She said on the big day that she bought the dress at David's Bridal. She immediately knew it was the one. I had my maid of honor there, and it was the second dress I tried on, and I fell in love with it. We both started crying, and we just decided that it was the one, Hines said. And now that fairy tale feeling is far from being felt for the last time. The latest recipient, Valerie Sheridan, is set to be married in the gown on Sunday. It is literally a blessing. It's amazing to see other people happy and know they're going to feel good in it. A wedding dress is so special to a bride, and knowing that a dress that I picked out will make someone feel just as good as I did is a blessing, Hines said. Isn't that awesome? And how wonderful to be able to pay it forward. We can do different things in our own life that make us feel happy and satisfied. And then we can do other things for other people that are actually just make us more happy and more satisfied because you're actually helping another person. So what a wonderful way to pay it forward and to know that that dress is going from bride to bride to bride to bride. Absolutely awesome. So there you go. There's your good news for today. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will be sharing all those articles on the Positive Power Facebook page for you to check out at your own convenience.